All of the fun is in each step. It's in each millimeter. Most people feel burned out is they don't really know how today's work contributes to the 10-year vision.
This is a question, anonymous, but it's a really thoughtful question. I love it. It often feels like we're just treading water, moving only a millimeter toward our 10-year vision each day while becoming increasingly burnt out in the process. Our challenge is figuring out how to schedule ourselves in a way that supports growth while still prioritizing our lives and our kids. We're looking for ways to grow sustainably and avoid the constant burnout.
They're always going to feel like millimeters or inches. It's just not going to feel like you're taking a big leap day by day. What I really recommend kind of doing though is taking that 10-year vision, kind of peeling it back into a 3-year plan and saying, 3 years from now, we need to be here in order to get there. What we're doing is kind of saying, beginning with the end in mind, what does 10 years look like? Where do we need to be in 3 years? And then in order to get there, where do we need to be in 1 year? Burnout is generally, a result of feeling overwhelmed, taking on too much, and not really being clear on whether or not you're making progress. When you think about where you need to be 1 year from now, starting with top line revenue, looking at bottom line net profit, looking at gross profit, looking at the revenue per hour, what this allows you to do is start to put together something that feels doable. And then, in order to make that become a reality, you create quarterly SMART goals. And company level SMART goals will kind of tell you what you need to do on the year, and then you can go ahead and break those down into quarterly goals. And using LeanScaper AI and Lana, it becomes very easy to do that. When I approach a year in 4 parts with 4 quarters, with a set of SMART goals for each quarter, it becomes really tangible. Like what I'm working on each day, I can really see it and feel it and touch it. And I can start to measure using the scorecards to understand if we're actually moving the needle. When you start to see a little bit of progress against those quarterly goals, your burnout really does start to subside. Now, part 2 to overcoming burnout is definitely time management. And so I always strongly recommend that you do a time audit and you compare where you're spending your time to the goals that you're working on or the results that you're looking to achieve in the business. And generally, when you start to look at where you're spending your time, you probably begin to realize that you're doing a lot of things that might not be really moving the needle. So you tend to peel back on those things and put a little bit more time into working toward the initiatives that support the SMART goals. And ultimately, you really start focusing on winning each job, winning each month, and winning each quarter, knowing that those add up to a year adds up to 3, and 3 adds up to 10. All of the fun is in each step. It's in each millimeter. It's not in the 10-year vision. Most people feel burned out is they don't really know how today's work contributes to the 10-year vision.